Greetings, music lovers. Welcome to our first episode of 2023. With all your love and support, the Raaga Room makes its way forward to the third year. The past 2 years have been insightful, impactful, educative, and fulfilling. Meeting great artists, listening to their experiences, immersing in their music, and discovering the stories behind several genres of music has been a rewarding experience, to say the least. With all the joy in our hearts, we welcome you to the new year with an artist that requires no introduction at all. Let me catch a breath here for a second. You guessed it right. The Raaga Room is honored to have with us Sri Shankar Mahadevan. A journey that began with Breathless and continues to grow in leaps and bounds, touching people's lives across the globe with all his warmth and humility. Shankarji's music transgresses demographics, age, religion, weaving a warm blanket of melody that stays with us forever. We are also grateful to have here with us Sridhar Ranganathan, founder and CEO of Shankar Mahadevan Academy. Please join us as we talk to Shankarji and Sridharji about the many initiatives that they are involved in. Shankar Mahadevan, legendary musician, composer, and a much-loved singer in India and across the globe. One of the stalwarts of the Indian music industry, Shankarji has won several awards, including 3 National Film Awards and the prestigious Padma Shree Award that was conferred upon him by the Republic of India in 2019 for his contribution to film music. He has collaborated with several world-class musicians and has sung for A.R. Rahman, the Oscar and Grammy Award-winning musician. Shankarji is an integral part of Shankar Ehsaan Loy, the Indian musical trio consisting of Shankar Mahadevan, Ehsaan Noorani, and Loy Mendoza. The trio has composed music for over 50 soundtracks across 5 languages: Hindi, Tamil, Telugu, Marathi, and English. We have all tapped our feet to Shankarji's rhythms, felt intense devotion to his Gananayakaya, and shed tears to the touching Ma from Tare Zameen Par. We have felt true patriotism to Hindustan, Meri Jaan, and experienced pathos with Vira. Name the emotion and we have experienced it through his music. Thanks in large parts to his musical genius and a persona that exudes compassion, warmth, and synchrony. Among Shankarji's many creative offerings is an initiative that is very close to his heart, the Shankar Mahadevan Academy. With the mission statement, Joy of Music, the Shankar Mahadevan Academy continues to spread the joy of music worldwide. It strives to make learning music convenient, easy and fun, and offers talented youngsters the opportunity to hone their craft under internationally established standards of learning. It emphasizes the exploration and composition of music while polishing their skills to perform and teach music. The Academy has hosted 41,000 plus students in the past 12 years across 90 countries, 24 time zones, actively pursuing their passion for music from the convenience of their homes. It offers over 530 courses and has delivered more than 328,947 classes online. We are super excited to have with us the co-founder and CEO of Shankar Mahadevan Academy, Mr. Sridhar Ranganathan. Mr. Ranganathan is an entrepreneur who thrives on using cutting-edge technology to create immense value for the benefit of the masses. He was recognized by his alma mater, SIES Mumbai, as among the best alumni, an award presented to him in 2008 by Dr. Abdul Kalam, former President of India. With over 21 years of experience in the wireless and software industry, Mr. Ranganathan has served in leading positions at Xerox Corporation and as Vice President at Yahoo. He's an advisor at Enable India, a non-profit organization that works towards empowering people with disabilities that provides them employment. He holds an MBA from UC Berkeley's Haas School of Business, an MS in Computer Science from Villanova University, Pennsylvania, and BE in Computer Engineering from Bombay University. Together, Team Shankar Mahadevan and Sridhar Ranganathan have been instrumental in making Shankar Mahadevan Academy a world-class online music school for Indian music. And it is with great pride and pleasure that I invite Shankar Mahadevan and Sridhar Ranganathan to the Raaga Room.
कोई जो मिला तो मुझे ऐसा लगता था जैसे मेरी सारी दुनिया में गीतों की रुत और रंगों की बरखा है, खुशबू की आंधी है, बहकी हुई सी अब सारी फिजाएं हैं, बहकी हुई सी अब सारी हवाएं हैं, खोई हुई सी अब सारी दिशाएं हैं, बदली हुई सी अब सारी अदाएं हैं, जागी उमंगे हैं, धड़क रहा है दिल, सांसों में तूफान है, होठों पे नगमे हैं, आंखों में सपने हैं, सपनों में बीते हुए सारे वो लम्हे हैं, जब कोई आया था नजरों पे छाया था, दिल में समाया था, कैसे मैं बताऊं तुम्हें.
Namaste, Shankarji and Sridhar. Thank you so very much for coming to the Raaga Room.
Namaste.
A
Good
very
morning.
warm
Good
welcome
evening.
to. Thank you so much. And to say that this is literally the highlight of my life, and I'm feeling like a kid in Candyland that this conversation is happening is only an understatement, really. Shankarji, I met you a few months ago in Mumbai. And I was simply blown away by your simplicity, the magnanimity of your persona. And for me, the general perception was, I should do better. I should do more. And I'm thinking a 1 hour of meeting can bring that positive state of mind in me. Then I can only imagine the number of lives that you touch in terms of students, children, music lovers across the globe. And that thought has brought this conversation to fruition today. And I have to extend my heartfelt gratitude to Sridhar for making this happen. So thank you so very much for that.
Thank you, Deepa. Thank you for making me feel so good early in the morning. Really flatters me. Okay. We are just doing what we are doing, Sridhar and me. And it's pretty normal for us. And if you are able to see, as you know, the mission statement of our academy is joy of music. If it can bring joy, I think we have achieved what we want to. What do you say, Sridhar?
Absolutely. Now, the 3 words joy of music gives you so much freedom. It cuts across ages, cuts across genres of people, cuts across the globe. And we've been doing exactly that for the last 12 years. It's been a wonderful, wonderful journey.
Absolutely. And what I do see is, Shankarji and Sridhar, through your initiatives, that there is so much to give. If everybody did what we did, there is still more to do. So the more we try, there's so much more that we can do in life. And Shankarji, you started your music at a formative age. The Carnatic classical music, Hindustani classical music, and you also play the veena and moved towards IT and made a shift back to music. Then Breathless happened. About 25 years now, is it?
Yeah, more than that. Yeah.
Wow. So from then on to now, your music is engaging, ongoing, brings people together. Would you like to take us through your journey, Shankarji, and some pivotal moments that you would like to talk about?
Well, I would like to start off by saying that, mine is a very, very simple, middle class, South Indian, humble beginnings, as you can say, from a small suburb in Mumbai called Chembur. That's where I started. A very, very simple family, and we are still simple only. I mean, we are simple at heart, and and that is what. But I think generally South Indians, they have a certain musical culture attached to their way of life, and that's how it was. My father used to do the daily puja, getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning, and very patiently clean. We had an altar of so many photographs, of various gods and goddesses. So my father used to clean all those photographs every morning religiously, remove the previous day's garland, and put fresh flowers in the morning. Light his lamp, do the arti. This process used to take about 2 hours, and in that 2 hours, those 2 hours, he used to sing a lot of shlokas, mantras, chanting, and all those things. And we used to stay in a very small house of 500 square feet. And what he used to sing, I think, has subconsciously, got into my system, even in my sleep. Because I used to get up to go to school at about 6:37 in the morning, like any child gets up in the morning, early morning. But before that, this music has already gone inside. He's been singing. He used to be continuously singing, and he was not a singer at all. He was just generally like any person singing. But a lot of information has gone in subconsciously. That's where it started, I guess. And then and then somehow I was looking for music, and music was looking for me, I guess. Somehow, uh, it so accidentally I accidentally happened to discover the harmonium. And when I saw those 12 notes, uh, somehow the connection between those 12 reeds and melody and sargams and everything became clear in about 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes. I was looking at the keys, and I knew what they meant, what it is. And I could easily associate with hearing a particular melody and connecting those notes and being able to reproduce those notes on an instrument playing the same melody. So I could, if you say in computer language, I could decode it very easily. So that was something that I discovered even without me knowing, actually. Uh, so that's how it started off, and yeah, and then I started learning music. Then I learned veena. I learned veena simply for the reason because I was too young. I was about 5.5, 6 years old, and I started with the veena because the instrument was very beautiful. I liked the look of the instrument. I said I want to learn this instrument because it had a dragon face on one end and all that. So I could barely be able to play the veena. They used to keep pillows to, give that elevation. So I learned the veena. Along with that, I realized that my teacher realized that I could sing too. So we started learning vocals. My brother was also there. My brother also used to learn. And sure enough, we started discovering the world of music very beautifully. Things started, unfolding every single day. And you realize how beautiful it is. But, parallelly, again, very humble backgrounds, the simple schooling, simple college, SIS college in Siam, what field to choose, engineering, doctor, because music, doing a career in music, that thought never even came because it's you can't make money out of music. So we're just doing what a normal kid does. So went to engineering school, but in the meantime, this musical what do you call it, activity used to keep on bubbling, keep on used to be happening in small places, some concert, something or the other, some little feature here, small sabhas in Chembur, where I used to stay, small performances. All these used to keep happening. So that was very interesting, and that used to be very soul satisfying. And it was almost a dream that would I be ever be able to do this and make a living out of it. That was very interesting. I used to see people who used to introduce me to other people. This guy, he goes out in the morning and he just goes from studio to studio, and he keeps singing jingles, and it's so much fun. Different studios he keeps going, and he gets paid for that too. So these things used to be fascinating. And I said, can you imagine spending a whole day in the studio just doing music? It's like a dream. And anyway, in the meantime, in my professional career, I got my job. I mean, Sridhar was in my same college where I did engineering. We finished engineering somehow. And Sridhar was a very intelligent guy. I was nowhere close to academically where he was, because I think, honestly speaking, the interest was also only half-hearted. I was doing my engineering, but I was not finding that soul satisfaction there. And our system of education, it's only about books, 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 and just mugging stuff. So that didn't interest me too much. But I had to finish it. I finished it and started working. Sridhar, in the meanwhile, he must have gone to the US very successfully. I was just over here, working in a small company, developing software and all that. But somewhere, something inside me told me, uh, you have to do it now. You have to do it now. At that time, I was also going around with who's my wife now, Sangeeta. She, we used to go around there for almost 10 years. We went around, and she also encouraged me. She said, you have to take music as your career and see your luck over there, or see your destiny, because I think you're cut out for that. So that encouragement from friends, relatives, uh, everybody pushed me to, change my career from an engineer into a musician. And that's what I did. I took a bold step, because it would have been a very cushy job. It would have been a very beautiful job, being in the US, developing software. But somehow I wanted to try this because I knew that after I'm 50 years old, I don't want to regret, that, oh, I should have tried it. I've seen many people do that. You know what? I always wanted to do music, this, that. But it's been 20 years. I'm working in this bank. There's no harm in working in a bank or developing software for some, multinational company. But always that unfulfilled dream is there. You hear people say that, "Arey yaar, karna chahiye tha." Oh, I always wanted to learn music. I wanted to. So I didn't want to do that. I wanted to do it now. Let me try it. What will happen at the max? And I had people like Sangeeta who always stood by me and said, "Kya hoga? I mean, what will happen? You're not going to die hungry or anything. I'm there to support you. We'll have a good life. Don't worry. Whatever it is, And we were happy then. We are happy now. We had a very, very, very basic life. Very basic. Uh, it was a 4-figure salary, not even a 5-figure salary. So we were very, very happy there. And it's the same feeling now too. So I think just deriving simple pleasures from some simple things in life, we have learned. Uh, I wouldn't say the hard way, the beautiful way, and here we are making music. And I think when I look back and I see the body of work, see, a person's career is, I think, determined by his body of work. So when I look back, I think I've done a decent amount of work, which I can be proud of. And there are some pieces of music which I think are going to stay on this planet for some time, And not only that, with Sridhar, this academy, and some really, really soul satisfying things are happening. So I think I've done my bit to a certain extent, but this is just the beginning. Lots more to do. So that's how I can sum it up.
Wow, Shankarji. When you were talking, I was just thinking about wherever there is resonance, there has to be an alignment to resonance. So the minute that happens, we always find the right thing to do. And I was just, as you were talking, I was envisioning, you were talking about your father, the process that he had. And in South Indian families, Geetas like Keriya Neerannu Kerige Challi, Padumana, but these things, they just come to you. You don't have to really make an effort. It is there in all of us.
Yeah.
And that drives some discipline. The rituals or following a process drives that discipline. And then there was the gift of music that you already had. So what a beautiful thing. And you were just touching the right point when you were saying that the body of work that you have created is really phenomenal. And that was what I wanted to talk about also, is that I think that art has a way of making us do things. We become the instruments and the art makes us do it. Also, art is a manifestation of our personality. And the more we dive into it, the more deeply we engage in it. It's a process of self-discovery. The process is extremely fulfilling. So having said that, now there is this tremendous musician, Shankar Mahadevan, and you're making great strides from then to this affable personality who to whom people connected so easily and so organically to your music. And in some form, what happened was it all became a community. Exactly what you were talking about, that we feel very belonged when we listen to your music. So in terms of like when you go to judge talent shows, how genuinely you provide your feedback and how you appreciate the children or artists, provide a platform to artists. Like we had the good fortune of having Mami Khanji on Raaga Room recently. So what an interesting story. This beautiful platform that you have created. So how did those objectives evolve within you to do more, to make people happy? I think it comes from a deep place of love. How did that happen?
Yeah, see, these things no cannot be uh, enacted in life. I think you have to do it naturally, and I think for me these things come pretty naturally. I don't think too much about these things. I mean, Sridhar has known me for now over 15 years now. Uh, I'm sure that he'll agree that I'm not comfortable doing something that I am not. It has to be me. It has to, even the style of music that I compose, or even the way I sing, or the way I perform, or the way I interact with other musicians. And many people ask me, "You're so easy there." Deepa, my telephone number is available to every single person in the industry. Okay, uh, everybody knows my number. Everybody contacts me. New singers, old singers, popular singers, struggling singers, musicians, music composers, and many a times when you're in dear one, I mean, how do you answer every single phone call? You just talk to them. How do you have the patience to do that? People they block people, and because they're too busy in their life. I don't believe in that. That is not me. I cannot I cannot not talk to a person. I cannot uh, not show respect to any other, even if he's a small musician or a young singer or an upcoming singer who's just not been able to make it or something. I cannot not respect him or listen to him or hear him out or hear his music. And when I'm hearing it, I'm there 100%, even it may be for a minute and a half. You know, so that is what I am. And I'm very comfortable. It may seem like I have possibly spread myself out. uh, I must have diluted myself and spread myself thin all over the place. I'm just there. Oh yeah, this guy's he's always there. But I prefer to do that. I like to just be simple, be available, be connected to people and my music. And yeah, apart from that, then whatever fame, popularity, money, that if it happens, well and good. So that is an extension of what you're asking. Uh, you won't believe it. I have done so many reality shows. Possibly, I'll be very immodest in saying that I may be one of those very few people who are in touch with contestants which have done almost 8 years, 9 years, 10 years, 15 years back. They're still in touch with me. Possibly they have not sung any film song. They're still in touch with me. Something comes up. Suddenly, one of them, they start becoming popular. Uh, they start doing shows, they start getting work, and that gives me a lot of satisfaction. One example I'll tell you is, if you have seen this OTT series called Bandish Bandits, there was this
Oh
kid
God,
when I
Shankarji.
did
Yes.
when I did Sare Gamapa 2000, I don't even remember, maybe 2008, 2007 or something like that. You know, there was this kid who used to sing classical music, and in all the episodes, though they used to feature only people with film songs, popular songs, etc., etc. This kid used to sing only classical music, and I used to encourage him, say, listen, you are unique, keep singing only classical. You don't get into anything like, because this is your forte, because what you can do nobody else can do. And yeah, I mean, he became popular and he used to do little, concerts here, there. Cut to after almost, 8 years, 9 years, I just remembered him when I was doing Bandish Bandits, and there was this character who sings in the end, and he's our hero, young voice. I called him back after 8 or 9 years, and that guy's Muhammad Aman. And if you see the ending, the crescendo of that series, he's the one who sung it, and he's sung in such a way it's impossible for many of the. I mean, almost any singer can't sing like that. The way he is delivered what is supposed to be delivered in that. And then, yeah, and he's set now. He's performing all over the place. He's popular. So I think, yeah, I mean, things happen. Yeah.
Wow, Shankarji, you make it so simple, but there is such an altruistic way of looking at it. And actually, when we do have something, the more you share, and it's a factor of being enabled. And we always seek validation from people that we look up to. And the minute we get it, I think that power is endless. When you know that somebody that you look up to so much believes in you and they think that you can do something,
Yeah.
that will just set you off on a path that is so victorious. So more power to you, Shankarji. And so rightly you touched on Bandish Bandits, because huge fan, first of all. But before I come into it, like the versatility of your music. First of all, like we are so blessed to be in culture like India, where we have such a vast repertoire of music that we have with us, and bringing in different folk genres of music into Bollywood, classical music into Bollywood, and making it so simple and accessible to people is a great style of your music. And like, for example, Kajrare, which Sridhar brought my attention to, was inspired by a folk tune of Braj, and Bandish Bandits too. I think I spoke about this with you when I met. Sunta Hai Gurgyani we had been listening to in Pandit Kumar Gandharva style, and that is the only, that if you say Sunta Hai Gurgyani, that was the only thing that was in our minds. This had such a different flavor to it. And Vira, my God, that would have gone on the loop 100 times. It was so beautifully done. So every bit of your music has so much versatility in it. So how do you bring in these kind of different flavors of music into your compositions?
Well, I don't know. Yeah. See, I think it is just an extension of you being a student always. Anything that is intriguing, interesting, and musically rich. I have had this. Always, I wanted to learn it. I wanted to absorb it in my system and execute it in different places. So it becomes very interesting when you get avenues. See, the main thing is you should be able to get. So what happens is, the interesting fact is, you get inspired from one place, and then you apply that principle in another place, which is like totally not connected to where you're applying. That is the beauty of music. Well, as you were talking about Kajrari, it's not inspired from any bridge melody or anything like that, because I don't believe in that. What I got inspired was from Nama Sankirtan. Nama Sankirtan was something that it's very simple. When you go to any temple, any form of devotional music, you see that the main leader, that is the lead singer, he sings a line, and the crowd repeats it. Jai Jai Ram Krishna Hari. Repeat. Jai Jai Ram Krishna Hari. Jai Jai Ram Krishna Hari. Jai Jai Ram Krishna Hari. It's a very simple sing and repeat process. That inspired me for Kajrare. Kajrare, Kajrare, tere kare, kare, nena. Repeat. Kajrare. Everybody repeats. So the inspiration is from somewhere else, which is totally unconnected to this song, which is supposed to be in a cheap bar in Kanpur, in the small lanes of Kanpur, where this, like almost like this special performances by this girl Aishwarya. But see the application from where it is coming. It's coming from a devotional. So that is how it is. And I can cite you many more examples like this. So music is beautiful. You can derive inspiration from anything. Suddenly anything can inspire you, and you can apply it in beautiful places. You don't need to copy to apply. You can just get into that world, take the essence of that, and apply it somewhere else. So this has been my basic modus operandi in music, and that's helped me because ghazals inspired me, folk music inspires me, bhajans inspire me, you know, jazz inspires me, Carnatic classical, of course, inspires. So uh, you can take fundamentals of all these forms of music and apply it wherever you want. So a lot of it is applied in places which is very interesting, and that is when the listener, when he listens, he wonders, "Are yaar, how did he think of this?" Because the thought is from somewhere else. You know,
Correct.
the thought
Correct.
is coming from somewhere else, but the application is somewhere else. It's like water leakage. It enters from somewhere else and comes out somewhere else. So it's like that. And you have a water leakage in your house. So it's like that. Yeah.
Very true. And it's also giving you food for thought. The minute you instill that sense of what could it be, the intrigue, I mean, that's good enough for somebody to go and research about it, find out more about it, and then they
Yeah.
can start their own research from there. So beautiful,
Yeah.
Shankarji. So, embodiment of all your virtues and the tech genius of Sridhar led to the conceptualization of Shankar Mahadevan Academy during a time when online learning was not even heard of. So, how did Shankar Mahadevan Academy come into picture, and what were your
Sridhar,
objectives when
Sridhar
you
will
started?
tell you about our interesting first meeting that we had, or even the first email that he sent me. Sridhar, bata na.
So, by the way, that person is known to all of us, Jai Shankar Balan. He was also a classmate.
Ah.
And
We call him Jata, Jata.
so, I started an online platform, technology platform in 2009, thinking that the education will move into online soon. Of course, the soon happened after about 8-9 years, um, and at that time I went to about, I don't know, 100 schools, met with principals, but nobody was even thinking about online because at the time the internet was slow too. It's not there a thing, but and in 2010, I was coming back on a flight from a meeting from a school where I was kind of disappointed because they said, "You come back next year, we'll try it," and something like that. So, and I was sitting on the flight. I picked up the midday, and lo and behold, there was an interview of SEL, and there was one line that caught my eye that and then Shankar had said that, I've applied for some land grant with the government, and I would like to start an academy. And that triggered the thought saying that, no, maybe I should just talk to Shankar about an online academy. Now, of course, it had been almost 15 20 years since it just happened that I was my college mate. I was 1 year senior to him, and it had been 15 20 years since I had met him. And now that he was Shankar, then now this is Shankar Mahadevan. I didn't even know how to reach him. So the first person I thought was Jeta, that is Jai Shankar Balan. And I sent him a message asking his phone number and email ID. And Jeta being Jeta, he said, "Hey, I can't give you his phone number and all. I'll send you his email ID." Okay, that's fine. At least there's a start. And I so wrote an email to Shankar. And of all the things, I usually don't do this, but there was one digit wrong in my number and I sent it to him. Okay. Now, Shankar Mahadevan does not
Sridhar
read.
never does that. Sridhar won't send you wrong information. Think about it.
Absolutely.
So, and Shankar doesn't read emails. He must be getting like thousands of emails every day, and this must have caught his eye. And immediately he tried to call me. And of course, the number was wrong. Then, of all things, he doesn't reply to emails. He replies, saying that something is not right here. Then immediately I send my right number. Then he calls me again. And then we start talking, and he said, "Okay, let's meet next week in Mumbai, in Bandra, in the same place where you met, Taj Lands End." Now, I go there, and Shankar comes in, and then it seems like, I never even lost touch with him. He's just the same warm person, and we sit on the chat, and I had written 3 things in my notepad, okay, and he had written 3 things in this notepad, and they were exactly the same.
Ah,
It was something out of divine intervention that this happened, honestly. And even now, when we look back at those kind of moments, and even now when we think about how this academy started, how and by the way, I was well set in the US, right? For me to move back to set up Yahoo in Bangalore, and then choosing to stay back in India, and then this happens. This is just complete divine intervention, and it is just a beautiful journey since then. It's just been a passion of my life. It's a pleasure to work with Shankar on a daily basis. And during the pandemic, Deepa, one of the things that hit me was that a lot of people lost their jobs. A lot of people were looking for things to do, and musicians pretty much, everything dried up for the musicians. Our academy supported almost 100 teachers, right? And those are things that are immeasurable, in terms of gaining satisfaction for yourself, that you were able to create something that could do this. I'll stop here. We can go forward.
I'd just like to mention a couple of points. Okay. Deepa, what happens is, we are creative people, musicians. So just like we get ideas for new songs and new musical pieces, every day we get new thoughts. Especially I'm a person who's buzzing in my head every morning. Means I just look up and say, oh God, this I have to, there are so many things to do, and I'm always finding time short, and I have to do this, I have to do that. There are so many things. Oh, can we do this? Can we do that? So there are many thoughts that come. The faster they come, the faster they go, because you're caught up with the next moment. Somehow this idea was there. It came to both our minds, as Sridhar said. Like three things that we had noted. But then it just wouldn't have been possible for me to do this alone, for various reasons. Because of the kind of person I am. I'm being very, very, very open about it, because I don't think, I have that systematic kind of approach of, doing stuff one after the other, categorizing stuff, getting a plan. So without Sridhar, there wouldn't have been a Shankar Mahadevan Academy. It was not possible. So luckily I met him. So it takes a person like me and a person like Sridhar, who's got this tremendous skill, passion, the hard-working nature, the systematic way of thinking and putting together, and also interest from the heart. See, these things you can't just do because, oh, you want to do a business and you want to just earn money and you can't do it this way. So I know how much Sridhar has worked for this. There are times when we were completely, down, wondering what to do, how to do it. Sridhar just held on with everybody, with all the staff, with all the teachers, with all the support, and huge platform. So musicians, many a times they're so creatively this thing, they're not able to make a business out of that. So this is a wonderful combination. It's a lethal combination of Sridhar, Ranganathan, and myself, where we have this amazing technical expertise plus a little bit of musical, experience, involvement, suggestions. When they go together, it becomes a very strong team, And at the age of Sridhar, we must be what? When we met, 40 something?
Yeah, 43, 44. Yeah.
43, 40. At the age of 44, to make a new friend is very difficult, Deepa. So your friends are what you have over the years. At the age of 44, I made a friend. And the connection to make this friend was 3 minutes. That's all. Either it happens in 3 minutes or it never happens. It's like that. You develop this friendship over the years. That's all there. That's a different kind of friendship. This kind of an association happens in 3 minutes. That's it. I said yes to everything he said. He said yes to everything that I said. No questions asked. Still today, there is no questions asked between him and me. How, what, this, that, function. the money, the this, and we're doing extremely well. So I think it's got to come from somewhere else. It is not possible to make this happen, or so it's wonderful. It's wonderful. So it's a very rare case of an academy that is doing amazing work for humanity, at the same time making enough money so that we don't have to look out for funds, and to of course, I mean, we are going to be raising funds to expand the academy, and it's in a very professional way. But like many academies, they are always only asking me to do fundraisers for them. You know how it is. Oh, हमारा ये नहीं, हमको ये बनाना है. We want to make this. We want to do that. Can you do a fundraiser? Charity. It's always connected to music associations and academy, which we are not. We are a professional, what do you call it, company, making our money, doing our profits, at the same time doing some wonderful work. So that is the difference.
Absolutely.
I'm good, thank you. I am from a suburb of Detroit. I started my journey with Shankar Mahadevan Academy right when COVID started in 2020. Completed 4 courses of voice gym. Voice gym
My
1,
God,
2, 3.
did you enjoy that?
I absolutely loved it. The difference is I used to sing a lot, but I never paid attention to the lyrics, so I never sang with the expression. So she really brought out that expressive voice in my singing, so that I just loved everything about it. And now I'm doing Joy of Singing, just picking up 2 or 3 Carnatic songs. So that's the course I'm in right now. And I've taken part in a couple of Sangams too. So I totally enjoyed that. I did SPB medley.
You are a Shankar Mahadevan Academy veteran. I can see that.
I'm addicted to it now.
Oh my God.
Every time I want to stop, every time I think, oh, okay, I'm going to take a break, I don't take a break. I keep going.
Shankarji, also you were talking about, you met at 44. I'm a great believer of energies. I feel when positive energies connect, anything can happen. The 3 things you said, 3 minutes and 3 things, and wow. And about Sridhar, I have had the pleasure of interacting with him, and I see how astute his observation is and how quickly he takes an idea and brings it to execution. And I think that is such a powerful thing. And I have also had, the opportunity to take a look at SMA and the different initiatives that you support. And through Sridhar also, that I came to know about different concepts like Saundarya Lahari, Naman, Sarjanpiya. And even though I'm from Karnataka, I knew of Pitil Chaudhaya. I did not know that there were different compositions of Pitil Chaudhaya, which Shankar Mahadevan Academy hosts. So similar to that, you have several other initiatives like Nirvana, Archives to Life, and a lot of other initiatives, and Sangam programs. And I have watched several of Sangam programs.
Yeah, Muskurahat is something that we support.
Randomly, I just logged in one day and I was watching Sangam, one of the programs, and Chaitra ma'am's song, Omkara Prabhu Adev. Oh my God, the coordination that went into bringing all the children together, it was just fabulous, and how much people appreciated it. So I would love to listen, if you could please tell us about the different initiatives that you host from Shankar Mahadevan Academy.
see, Shankar Mahadevan Academy, while we talk about a business and you talk about, a for-profit, a venture and things like that, it's slightly different in the sense that the Shankar Mahadevan Academy is an institution, and Shankar and I often talk about how it has to survive even after we exit planet Earth. Okay, it's an institution that will be a legacy for the fantastic musician that Shankar is, and the way I have structured it, and then again, this every day is a different day. We keep tuning the things, but at least the fundamental structure of it is we'll never go beg. Okay, so it has to, because value, if value is created, then people have to understand and appreciate that value. It's not about money. It's not about the profit you show at the end of the year. It is the profit in the hearts of people, how they value your work. There were so many lessons for me to learn, right? I had worked in a company like Yahoo, where a meeting starts at 8. It starts at 8, right? And here I would wait for teachers to come to a meeting after an hour late. It just initially I used to get irritated, but then I realized that this is how the fabric is. So I kind of tuned it to where I would make the meeting. I set my calendar an hour late, but they will be on time, so that they will be on time. So I kind of made adjustments for this, and slowly now they have become professional, more professional. And the another challenge we had was, just understanding how to deliver music, right? So music education is one thing, music performance is one thing. So out of every 100 music performers, there will be 5-7% of them are teachers, right? So then we started the whole teacher training program to get them to be more professional teachers, and that's worked. I paid a lot of dividends in that. Now, in 2014, after about 4 or 5 years of doing music, teaching music, Shankar and I were talking about it, and then we realized that we can probably provide this platform for people who can't afford to to pay the fee. So then we approached the Tata Trust, and they were magnanimous enough to support it. And there was born Inspire India project. The idea was not necessarily to make every child a musician, but to make music a household conversation in their household, right? The idea was music can bring them joy in different ways. And this is where the magical 3 words of Shankar came up. We were talking about the mission of the academy, and we went back and forth for 2-3 days. And he came up with these 3 beautiful, simple words: joy of music. Right? That gives you the freedom, the independence to do so many things. And you mentioned a few: archive to alive, where we bring back fantastic compositions from the past and make it available for free for people to learn. Then we have SMA Nirvana, where we sing to people who are lonely. Loneliness, I believe, is the biggest disease in the world today. And then we also provided to palliative care patients, and then we have SMA Muskurahat. That thing came to me in during the pandemic. Needy musicians who are, it's no fault of theirs that they suddenly don't have a livelihood. So we created what is SMA Muskurahat essentially is a pension fund, and we were hoping to make it an endowment so that the capital is safe, and then the interest goes in paying people who need that funds for daily daily lives. Then came SMA Samaj, where what we did was we took the talent of the world to create lyrics for a particular cause, and then Shankar would compose it, and we would get our teachers, children, different people to sing it, and we and promote a cause. The last one was, I think, against the single use of plastic, and we have done a few, girl child, anti-corruption, peace, anti-terrorism, anti-child.
Swachh Bharat.
Swachh Bharat, so and then now what has happened is the 3 simple words: joy of music. I keep going back to it because that's the root that helps you think all these different things. It makes you create properties that nobody else has thought of before. It just helps you innovate in a way where music reaches people who otherwise not necessarily just learning and performing music. Music as a better, Shankar says is better. Music has a bigger, profound impact on people's lives.
Purpose of music.
And then that's the trust side of things. That is the non-profit side of things. On the for-profit is very simple. We deliver professional courses. We want our children to be on stage singing concerts, and you're almost there. We have few children who already, and then one of the questions used to be, oh, can you learn music online? And I used to tell them, oh, पानी रखो वहां पर, oh, घोड़ा पिएगा पिएगा नहीं पिएगा आपको पता नहीं है, right? It's simple as that, right? It's very simple. Medium doesn't matter. If you want to learn something, you will learn it, right? But then here what happens is a Indian child growing up in Finland who has no access to a teacher or Indian music, at least they have a possibility to now learn, right? And that's what exactly happened. We are in 89 countries and we have touched many lives, and our what do you call, promise to each of one of our students is professional delivery of music in a personalized way. We want to make sure that we teach our teachers to connect with the child, not get stuck on sapa sapa sapa. Connect with the child, make them happy first, and happy people can learn faster. Those are kind of things that
Absolutely. Was just, making an observation, Shankarji, but whenever I have a couple friends who go to Shankar Mahadevan Academy, and one kid here, Srishti Kubi, she's been a long-term student of Shankar Mahadevan Academy, doing so very well. What I do see, one thing is that their comfort in being there as a student. There is no pressure, and they enjoy what it is they're doing. And I've seen them take up these projects. They're like, we are working on this one complicated tal, and it's so nicely broken down and so simply taught to a student. And also, I think it is so important to provide that kind of a conducive and a comfortable atmosphere for a child to learn classical music, because there is a general perception, probably not so much anymore, but classical music is hard. Classical music mein bahut sadhana is required. We need to really, I don't know how many years we need to study to actually give a performance. So those are the things, I think, from your academy which are being addressed so beautifully.
Yeah, and it is a very conscious decision, Deepa, because I think when Sridhar and me, we used to, where we are sitting right now, there a lot of creative thinking happened here itself. This is just chilled out, and we should just be talking about what is. See, we used to wonder that why should music be intimidating? Okay, so classical music, when you talk about classical music, it's suddenly the next word that comes is intimidating. Oh my God, classical music. It's like, oh, don't touch me not kind of a thing. I'm scared of classical music. Or even the artists, you see, okay, you're a great artist, but why have this kind of a, like an aura where you can, oh my God, you can't come within 1 mile of my radius, because I am a classical artist, nothing like that. Break that down. Nothing. Just simple. Just learn. Remove that myth and that what do you call it? The mystery behind classical music and it being, oh my God, this, that, and all that. Just teach it in a very simple way. Make it fun. Smile first. Okay. Learn to smile. And have a good time. You can have a good time. And what is classical music? Apart from, being able to perform classical music, if you learn this form, your fundamentals become strong. That is the main purpose. The fundamentals of music become strong. And then whatever you want to do, you do now. You become a pop artist, you become a ghazal singer, you go to playback singing, you go to whatever folk singing, you form your own band, indie music, whatever you want to do. But you learn this not because of the only fact that I wanted to perform at Savai Gandharva Mahotsav or Madras Music Academy Kacheri. That is not the purpose. The purpose is so that I make you into a musician, and then you take your own wings and you fly wherever you want to. So the process has to be, firstly, not intimidating. Okay. If I'm intimidating, if I would have been a person who was very serious and very this, half the questions you wouldn't have asked me, because, oh God, I don't know what he's going to feel. What kind of a mood am I going to this thing? And classical music, let me be very honest, it's like that, it's a little too serious. Hey, I mean, It's just music at the end of the day. You're not writing some laws for the government and the whole country to change. It's music. Enjoy. And
Yes.
as a coming back to the word joy, unless you get joy from music, because joy is the primary objective. Once you get joy, once you're happy, whatever you're doing, you enjoy. I'm in a very joyful state. That's why I'm enjoying this interview too. Suppose I was stressed out, you know, and I have to leave. I've got something is in my mind. I wouldn't be here with you, you know. I would be answering your questions, but mentally I wouldn't be here because I'm not joyful in my mind, you know. So main thing is you have to be joyful inside. When you're joyful, you enjoy everything that you do. Whether you're eating, whether you're just chilling, whether you're, whether you're singing, performing. So it all derives from joy. So that is a trigger, you know. So that's why it's very important.
And
It's
to
a
add to this, two instances that I remember, me not being a non-musician, how much it has helped. Because now I'm very because I ask questions, but most musicians can't answer. So I asked Shankar, and I used to ask the people, why do you have to learn Saregamapa to sing? Okay, why can't you start singing? And Shankar immediately gave me an answer, saying because every song has Saregamapa in it, and you can decode it. So one of the songs I sent him was Shakira's Waka Waka, and he decoded that. Okay, so then that has become a signature in the academy now, where we have rhymes to swaras, and in our performances with schools, the children sing not only the Saregamapa, also the Do Re Mi Fa Sol La Ti within the song.
Oh.
Okay, so the children can make that connection. See, that fundamental thing was, I don't know why people didn't think of it before, but it was just a conversation that made that happen, right? Similarly, one of the other question I asked is, that they talk about the Trinity in Carnatic music, very, very, divine people who created some fantastic compositions. But what happened after that 500 years? Why do we go to the kacheri where the same songs are being done, right? So now what we did was in our course, the manifestation of that is in our courses, even in the first course, a child learns to create something. So it could be, Sarli verse 1, 2, 3, then there will be Shankar's Sarli verse. It means you basically personalize that child's name's Sarli verse. So now the child has created the Sarli verse. What? That's just a function of creating something, right? Because at somewhere I think we forgot that music is a performing art, right? But it's also an art form that can need creativity. So those are kind of things that
I think you should dig out the creativity in a child, it's like very simple. You remember that camel crayons that you used to get, 12 colors. Yeah, it's exactly that. You have got a box of crayons with you. Okay, now teacher teaches you to draw an apple and whatever, bird, dog. Okay, that is what the teacher. But then the crayons are there with you. You have an empty sheet. Now you draw whatever you want to. It's like that. So, and if you see in the writing space, you have your alphabets. Okay, you have your 26 alphabets. You create your own things. You know how to speak the language. So if you know to speak the language really well, using those 26 alphabets, you'll create things better because your grammar is very good.
Exactly.
You've read a lot. Why do you think a Javed Akhtar and a Gulzar Saab and a Prasun Joshi and these kind of writers, Sahir Ludhianvi, these are better lyricists than many others? Because their knowledge doesn't come from film music. Their knowledge about writing doesn't come from film music. They have read literature, they have read poetry, they have read great works of great people, Mirza Ghalib. They have read a lot. That when you apply into a mainstream commercial, the class is different. So that is what it is.
It's about making connection, and I was just thinking that it's also the feeling of being to a certain concept or inclusivity. The minute we what you were talking about, the Sarle verse being named after a child or a Tan being named after a child, automatically the connection is happening. They're owning it. They're taking accountability of it.
Yeah.
And they know that if I do this, then I can do the next one better. So right there, the interest is already initiated. So that job is done. Then from then they can take it forward. How beautiful, really wonderful that is. With all of these initiatives, what is your vision for Shankar Mahadevan Academy? I'm sure you have bigger plans and something that you are working on.
See, the sky is the limit, yeah, Deepa, because I think with the internet, I mean, there is no limit to how much you can go, where all you can go, what all you can do. But I think we want to, we have one thing in common. We want to create this as the Harvard of music. And Harvard does not mean to, it doesn't mean the college Harvard. It is a description of the feeling of Harvard, meaning quality, meaning what you, the level of the academy should be like the Harvard of music. You know, it's like using the term Harvard to describe a particular feeling. So that's what. Sridhar, you want to add to that?
Yeah, it's about longevity. It's about sustaining, ensuring that both the head and the heart in the right place. The head making sure that we can put food on the table for more musicians, more teachers, more staff. The heart being making sure that when we are true in what we try to teach. When a student comes and they don't enjoy and they leave, we try to find ways to make it easier for them to understand what is the level of music they want to learn. Some people, we have people in the academy who are doctors, right? They just come for a 1 hour of stress-free, in a week. We have students who are very serious. They create their own compositions, and so we have different levels of students, different age brackets of students, and things like that. We're also expanding the way you can think about music. For example, one of the projects we're working on is create a foundation of music course, and it includes foundation and appreciation of music for every engineer, for every doctor, for every law student, for everybody in the college, right? I was an engineer, and I had a course in economics. At that time I didn't realize the importance of it, but then later it really helped me. So a course in music. And then probably for electrical engineering students, we can have a course in music production, a course in audio engineering. If somebody who's a hardcore musician or wants to be a musician, they at least can create avenues, career avenues for them. We are looking at introducing music in schools. We have a fantastic curriculum called Grow with Music that starts from the age of 2.5 and goes to about age of 14, where what we've done is we've taken the tenets and the beautiful fundamentals of Indian classical music and Western classical music, and we've taken out and we've introduced compositions that are not based on deity names, because now it's more secular. The school is a lot more secular, and we respect that. So we've taken the same fundamentals, but then the compositions are more in tune with nature or fruits or vegetables or geography. So we're kind of doing a lot of lateral thinking in terms of how to use music to teach other subjects at the same time learn music. Those are our plans. But that's just scratching the surface. There's a lot more we're thinking. Yeah.
Of course. I mean, there is no barrier to creativity, and with your combination, I'm sure sky's the limit. And just like Shankarji was saying, Harvard, a stamp of excellence, Shankar Mahadevan Academy is something that we all look up to. Just the thought of it itself, that you're going to a place where you can actually learn quality music. So all my very best wishes. And I would really feel very bad to end the session without hearing a tiny bit of, Shankarji, if you want to sing something for us, that would be greatly appreciated.
Is there anything specific you want to listen to?
Yes, Vida.
Okay. I don't know, this Vira has become a big thing, huh?
So beautiful.
Sometimes I really wonder that the way you create stuff and then where it goes, it's then when you look back at how it took me exactly 5 minutes to create Vira, because it was just a little situation in the film. It was not meant to be like a major song thing or something. Somewhere there is this unsaid love happening between the singer and somebody who's not even talking about it, and I just started singing, and it just went on to become Vira. Rang 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 rang. तेरी सखी मैं अंग अंग आज रंग डार दूं ओ तेरी सखी मैं अंग अंग आज रंग डार दूं अपने जी से प्रेम रंग कैसे मैं उतार दूं मेरी सखी तेरी सखी तेरी सखी मैं अंग अंग आज रंग डार दूं अपने जी से प्रेम रंग कैसे मैं उतार दूं मेरी सखी तेरी सखी तेरी सखी
Wow, so beautiful. You know, there are some things that we never think will happen, but this moment for me made it realize that we need to think big and it does happen. What are the odds that Shankar Mahadevan sings a song on Raaga Room? Well, my heartfelt gratitude, Shankarji and Sridhar.
Pleasure. It
Thank you
was
so very
lovely,
much.
lovely talking to you, Deepa. And your questions were also so different from the usual, you know. So really enjoyed, and lovely to have Sridhar also. So both of us could talk about the academy, and great. So keep it going, and hope to see you in person sometime.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Shankarji. Thank you so much, Sridhar. Thank you so much for
Thank you.
making this happen.
मेरी सखी तेरी सखी तेरी सखी तेरी सखी ओ तेरी सखी
Dear viewers, we thank you so very much for joining us on this episode of the Raaga Room. We certainly hope you enjoyed watching this episode just as much as we did bringing it to you. Thank you so very much. Have a wonderful day. For more information about the Raaga Room, please visit our website www.theragaroom.com.